Season debut, all that more. SportsCenter 6 Eastern on ESPN, and it's on the ESPN app. Okay, so what we're going to do now stems from a comment that Dan Orlovsky made in our post-show meeting yesterday. He told us who he thinks is the MVP of the league, and it wasn't who everyone else thinks is the MVP of the league. So we thought we'd ask you to put together your top 5 for MVP if they were giving the award right now. Go.
Kick it off. Number 5 is going to be Michael Thomas for the New Orleans Saints. Listen, Michael Thomas right now is on track for 144 catches. And mind you, he's done 3 of those games without Drew Brees. He's basically uncoverable, having a dominant season. Number 4, Deshaun Watson. This guy leads the NFL in touchdown passes right now. And not only is because he's just a quarterback, he's a big play to watch every single snap. He's absolutely remarkable, and we need to talk about him more. Number 3, the most undervalued player in the NFL, Russell Wilson. Right now, over 70% completion percentage, 9 yards per attempt. The only other guy to do that is a dude named Joe Montana. Okay, historic pace right now. Here we go. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is having an outstanding season. He's on track to shatter passing yard records, doing some of that without Tyreek Hill. Don't pay attention to the last 2 weeks when we think he's fallen off. He is primetime television.
Number 2.
To number 1. To number 1 for me, Christian McCaffrey.
Oh.
Christian McCaffrey right now is averaging 170 yards per game, shattering historic record. He's worthy of 47% of this Carolina Panther offense. And here's why. Everybody in the stadium knows Christian McCaffrey's getting the ball on first down. Everybody in the stadium knows Christian McCaffrey's getting the ball on second down. And everybody in the stadium knows that Christian McCaffrey is getting the ball on third down. And it doesn't matter. The last time we saw this with a non-quarterback was who? When was the last time we saw a guy who didn't play quarterback that everybody knew was getting the football and still dominated football games? He's the best player in football right now, and he would be the MVP if the season ended today.
So now you know why we all sort of jumped out of our seats when he didn't say Patrick Mahomes.
I want to disagree.
What do you think?
But you can't.
I can't.
But you can't.
You agree?
Damn, Greeny.
You agree?
Yeah, let me see if I can make an argument for one of these other slots.
You agree with McCaffrey right now
Absolutely.
is the MVP?
Look,
is he
man,
the best player in football?
Yeah, because Saquon not playing. And you know
Don't put that asterisk on it.
You know
Don't
I'm
put
not
that asterisk on
changing
it.
that. I'm not changing that. But I will say this, G, as a defender, like when I'm looking at games and I'm watching these guys, Christian McCaffrey scares me more than anybody with the ball in their hands. And that's saying a lot because there's a lot of dynamic offensive players. But how Norv is getting him the ball, how he's making Kyle Allen super comfortable in this offense, and to Dan's biggest point, you know he getting it. And you can't do nothing about it.
And I would say this, Greeny, and everyone knows how much I love Patrick Mahomes, right? Like everybody knows, as good as Christian McCaffrey has been in their pass game and their ability to run the football with him or screen it to him, get the ball on the edges, get the amount of things that he's able to do at an incredibly high level is why I put him there. And everybody knows how much I rave about this guy's game. I would be willing to say this. This is closer than this, in my opinion. Russell's closer to 2 than Mahomes is to 1, because that's how impressive this kid has been through the first 5 or 6 weeks of the NFL football season.
And there's certainly one huge group of people out there that this is not news to, and that is anyone who plays fantasy football. Because if you're going up against Christian McCaffrey,
50 burger.
He is. He is. His numbers are certainly insanely good. It's an interesting conversation.
And I don't even
Thank you for being
fantasy.
part of it. All right, let's get to the hoop. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's run the floor with Jalen Rose. And we start with Marcus Morris, who had a pretty memorable debut, you could say, for the Knicks yesterday. He was ejected because, well, he threw some elbows at Justin Anderson, and then he just decides to take a ball and just hit him in the face with it.
Well,
I mean, what?
Well, some people are in the league because of their skill, others in their will, and some because of their toughness. That's who Marcus Morris is. You stick your face in there, I'm going to hit you with the basketball.
Yeah, because I know my team needs me. You know, I got somebody that set a better example. But you know, like I said in the beginning, we're not taking no shit.
It's a preseason game, Jalen.
You heard the apology without the apology? It's like, my team really needs me, L, but by the way, we not having it.
Okay.
He said that at the end as well. This is the toughness that he brings to your basketball team. That's why people pay him millions of dollars to play the sport.
It's very Charles Oakley-ish, if
Yes,
you will, right?
absolutely.
In terms of being that enforcer.
I bet he won't stick his face in there again.
Well, probably not. It was a little bush, little bush league, but that's all right. Listen, we also saw, because a lot's being made of what we saw from Zion, and he was fantastic, but how about Lonzo? He made his Pelicans debut, and he wasn't dropping dimes. He was showing off his new form on his three-point shot. What'd you think?
I like the fact that Lonzo's now in a situation without the noise. We're not going to be interviewing necessarily family members often.
I was going to say, without the noise, what, his dad's going to be quiet?
He's not on the big stage of Los Angeles.
Fair.
His jump shot has improved. I think he's going to have a terrific season, especially if he can stay healthy.
We are running the floor on all kinds of debuts, like Russell Westbrook making his Rockets debut in Japan this morning. His new teammate James Harden finished with 21 points in the first quarter, and he had 34 total. So early on, right? I know it's a small sample size, but what are you expecting between these two?
What I'm expecting is I'm going to pick up box scores and watch League Pass at least 10 times this year, and both of those guys are going to have triple doubles in the same game.
Wow. And that's going to be possible.
That's going to be going down this year.
Okay. Good luck to Mike D'Antoni to try to make that happen. And listen, I understand that it's early, but we got our first little taste of LeBron and Anthony Davis, and I don't feel like this is an over-exaggeration to say no one's going to stop this team. How do you stop this, Jalen? They're going to win 82 games.
There's some amazing dynamic duels across the league. The Clippers, the Rockets are going to have something to say in the Western Conference. Don't sleep on the Nuggets, the Jazz, and Portland. Don't sleep on who comes out of the East, maybe the Bucks or the Sixers. But if I had to pick a championship favorite, I agree with Swagoo. I agree with UL. The Lakers would be that team. Yes. We know about the greatness of LeBron James, right?
Right.
He hasn't played basketball in months.
He's so high.
He's going to be as fresh as he's ever been. Anthony Davis now gets to go from being one of the top players in the game to now elevating himself into a superstar, because that's what winning does. And this is why, actually, other than those two guys, I'm going to pick them as my favorite. Kyle Kuzma.
Kuz.
People sleep on the fact that Kyle Kuzma has become a prolific scorer. Mm-hmm. They have so much size up front. Kuzma 6'9", LeBron 6'9", 7-footers like Dwight Howard gonna be blocking shots. JaVale McGee gonna be playing quality minutes. The Lakers did a terrific job putting this roster together. I think they're going to be truly motivated. The rest of the league is going to keep them on their toes because I mentioned so many great teams. But if I had to pick a favorite, the Los Angeles Lakers would be that team. And it's not just because they have a dynamic duo. They have a big three. Yeah. Along with Kyle Kuzma.
You're right. And like you said, I'm always big on like X factors. And when I saw Dwight Howard trot out that blonde hair, I was like, oh, it's over. The Lakers are going to win it all. We got a little eye candy for you, too. Listen, the Hawks aren't going to get a lot of love this season. So allow me to show them some love.
We are, though.
Trae Young, right, with the nasty nutmeg here on JJ Redick.
That was filthy. And that's what happens when you get a little bit older. That's exactly what happened. Look like a turnstile. I've been in that situation. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. Look at him. And by the way, you ready for this? Don't sleep on your Hawks getting close to a playoffs this year.
Okay.
Don't sleep on that.
Well, I'm a battered and abused Georgia sports fan, so this is what I do. ESPN's preseason NBA coverage ships off tonight, 8 Eastern, with the Rookie of the Year, Luka Doncic, and newly acquired Kristaps Porzingis leading the Mavericks against Chris Paul and the Thunder. That still feels weird. It's followed at 10:30 by Dame Dalla and the Blazers hosting the Nuggets. Remember, you can watch it live on ESPN.
Who won the battle between Dame and Shaq?
Shaq.
I'm going Dame.
What? Shaq. Shut it down.
Original beats.
Tomorrow on Get Up, we won't be discussing that. We'll be talking about another Browns loss, right? And it's now setting their sights on Seattle. Are we already talking must-win for Cleveland? Plus, Mel Kiper Jr. buying Jalen Hurts as an NFL quarterback. Does Paul Feinbaum actually agree with that? And, of course, the Astros can close out with a win tonight. So Mark Teixeira is back to break it all down. That's Get Up tomorrow.
Jalen's in the pro.
You know.